then in reality, on the inside, their whole world is just fucking going all up and crazy and all everything. You know, oh my gosh, this said this about me and I don't know how to deal with it. Like their whole head is just going up. If you know the episode of SpongeBob when they were like, oh, what is his name? What is his name?
Name, I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name!
You know, kind of like that on the inside, you know, but people really don't really put all that into perspective. Like if you just talked about it. Hello and thank you all so much for tuning in with me today. My name is Heartz, aka Rel, whichever one you want to go by. This is going to be the first episode of What About Heartz talk show. So thank you all for tuning in today. And this first episode is going to be about vulnerability in men especially. There's just a lack of society today. Like it's like so absent today, especially in men. And honestly, it's kind of trickled over to women as well too, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, we'll get into that all later. Today, I just want to start off by announcing pretty much everything's going to be talked about in the show. Is going to be issues regarding social issues and stuff like that going on in society. And this is all going to be from my own personal opinion. It's things that I've seen and I would love to see a change in that I see inside like society. And this is such a general topic because it goes down so many avenues as well too. So yeah, be sure to drop a like in advance. I definitely appreciate you. Make sure to comment down below what you want to see the next video about. Today is going to be about vulnerability, especially inside men. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started. And we'll go ahead and start with the first topic of this conversation today. So, all right, so first topic is going to be about defensiveness inside this. So, I don't know if you have seen it before. I'm sure some of you have seen it, but there is a thing where people become defensive when it comes to opening up about themselves. And it's like, and you don't have to always be so open with somebody, you know, to tell them every deep, dark thing that's happened to you and all stuff like that. But, you know, just being able to have a small conversation for you to be able to give some form of trust to somebody. It doesn't have to be detailed. It doesn't have to be anything. Like, you just say that, hey, I've been through this, you know, and it's really gotten me to a really bad place. And yeah, you keep it at that. And now this person has some kind of thought like, okay, this person has been down this kind of road. Okay, cool. I'm glad I know this and I know why they're kind of acting like this now a little bit, you know? And it just creates like more of a trust thing between one and two people. Because if you've been inside any kind of relationship or anything like that or friendship, like you cannot have one person giving so much more opening up and the other person is just like quiet as heck when it comes to their own personal life. You know, it just doesn't work. It doesn't create trust. So I've seen that a lot and it's really pressing thing. You know, people really get defensive like, why do you think you need to know this? Because they've had like traumas in their past that really messed them up with people just abusing their trust. You know, here's the thing though, like everybody has had their trust taken advantage of before. Like we got to get out of that baby shit, you know? Like you cannot think that, okay, wow, I've been hurt before. Boo-hoo, cry for me. I will never give nobody my trust again. Who gives a fuck? Like everybody's been hurt. Everybody's been through some stuff, you know, and some people had it worse off than others for sure. But, you know, it's never to a point to where, okay, yeah, you could take some time like to heal, you know, sure, take some time to heal yourself. That's what something I feel like so many people need to do to get away from defensiveness. And it's like most people just don't even think about it. Like they're just like, I'm stuck here, you know? Don't let somebody take away, you know, yourself. And that's what so many people do. And it's like, it really bothers me because I will meet women or I meet guys and then these guys or women, they just literally bottle themselves up to a place to where they just don't feel like they can trust anybody. They don't want to give anybody any trust. They think everybody's gonna be the same way, you know, even if you come in with open arms and stuff like that. And like, to be honest, I'm like one of the most friendliest people that you will meet. And, you know, I try to make everybody feel comfortable about, you know, speaking and stuff like that. Like, and that's why I open up about so much of my past and stuff, you know, and stuff that I've been through to the public, You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't even something the one-on-one, you know, this is to the damn public. Like, yo, I've been homeless, bro. Yeah, I've been through the shit. I've been through I've been goddamn abused. I've been through all this goddamn shit, but I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here pushing hard and still giving trust and love, you know, acting like I never had my heart broke before. Pretty much that's the same thing I'm talking about. And like, it's so frustrating for me to see other people like that. It hurts my heart. More so hurts my heart more than being frustrating, because I hate that people don't feel like that they can move past it, you know, when it's so possible for everybody to do so. And I think we all just need to be able to encourage each other more to be able to push past these things, you know. So getting past that defensiveness so people can feel more able to be vulnerable, and so we can have a more genuine society of friends, of this and whatnot. Like, I just feel like that will all tie it all together. And for number 2, this one is about the men. And here's the thing, and I'm going to talk about this strictly towards the black community, because I'm not sure if it's the same thing in the white community or whatnot. But as a man, we have been taught since day one to, you know, to be tough, to be, to not let people see you cry, you know, all stuff like that. Like, not to show your emotions and whatnot. Like, because people are going to try to take you for granted. People try to take you for a bitch, you know, and you don't have to be any of these things, or any of these things don't have to happen to you just because you show your emotions. And I feel like this is something that really needs to be talked about, because with me, I've always been the person that showed my emotion and everything, even since I was a kid, of course. And I was really pushed down, like, on it really bad as a guy. Like, oh, you too weak, you're this, you're that, blah, 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 you know, no girl will want you, and all, you know, all types of stuff like that, you know. And it took me a long time to really understand that, you know, you can still be yourself, you can still be open and show your emotions, but, you know, there's also still being too emotional. That is a thing for sure, and that's where I found myself at one point. So it's not telling somebody that you can't show your emotions, but you just have to learn how to, while speaking your truth, speaking your emotions, you just have to really understand. So you just have to understand that you can be you, but you just don't have to let your emotionalness take over. You know, you can voice how you feel. Like, hey, look, I don't like the way that you talked to me right here when you said this. It did hurt my feelings, and I just want you to let you know that, you know, you can express yourself in these kind of sense, but don't let it, I know it might be harder for some people than others, but you can still voice your opinions. And I feel like most people need to do that, because so many people will get to the point to where they're just like, they'll just have their feelings really hurt really bad, and then they just won't say anything. And then they'll just keep acting, going about it like nothing happened. But then in reality, on the inside, their whole world is just fucking going all up and crazy and all everything. You know, oh my gosh, this said this about me. I don't know how to deal with it. Like, their whole head is just going up. If you know the episode of SpongeBob when they were like, oh, what is his name? What is his name?
Name, I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name!
You know, kind of like that on the inside, you know. But people really don't really put all that into perspective. Like, if you just talked about it, you don't have to be emotional. Like, let it get you like out of your emotions, and you start crying and getting all really upset and everything like that. But you can just come to them like, you know, person to person, like, because if you don't tell up, if you don't speak up and you don't tell them how you feel, then you're just giving them opportunity to keep on doing it, because they don't recognize that anything's wrong, you know. And that's where I feel like the communication comes in a really huge play for a lot of people, and it just is not there, you know. And that's also why I do try to always maintain how I'm talking to people, because I'm really tone sensitive myself, you know, because I grew up really emotional. So, you know, it's taken me a long time to get myself out of it. So when I speak to other people, I try my best too. monitor my tone and everything and how I'm speaking to them. Sometimes, you know, that kind of doesn't happen the way I want it to, because I can be really aggressive sometimes when I'm speaking to people, or blunt, and because I'm honest. So, you know, some people just don't take it as well. So it's a give and take thing. So it has to be on both ends. And I think people really just need to understand that communication is huge in all aspects across the board, you know. So even when it comes to women and vulnerability, in like the past years, I've even noticed that it's like, at least in the Black community, that I believe that since like the generations of single mothers have just been passed down now for like what, like 2 generations or so or more or whatever, it's like it's become so consistent for women to say that they have to do everything themselves, you know, because they've seen their mom do it. Like, okay, you do this yourself and this is how it is, blah, blah, blah. You have to be strong. You can't be weak. Even if you got kids, you got to be able to take care of them all yourself and all that, blah, 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 blah. It's a reality for a lot of people, and I've seen it myself because my mom took care of me and my brothers, you know, pretty much herself, you know. So it's like, I understand it. And I understand how tough it is, because even with my mom being that, she couldn't raise us as much as she wanted to, you know. She couldn't provide things for us like she needed to or wanted to. And she didn't have like, we didn't have a male inside our life like that to provide those things. So I understand the whole thing about women losing a sense of vulnerability inside that, because it's just like a lack of trust that hasn't been there with their dads. And it just kind of translates into men, towards men in general, you know. And it's a concept that's really hard for people to get out of. But understanding that on both ends, that for the guys who grew up without their dad in their life, and then they pushed on to make up for things that weren't there, it's like, all my women, I want you all to understand, all my ladies, I want y'all to understand that, you know, there are guys who understand this, and you're not alone inside this, and you don't have to try to weigh all the pain on yourself like your parents did. Because even though like you may have been raised by just your mom or just your dad or blah, 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 that you have to do it yourself too. Like, it has to be a break in the chain somewhere along the lines. And that's what I feel like we really have to do as people, you know. We have to push past that. All right, and on to the next one. So this next topic is about flex culture. You might know what I'm talking about. Flex culture is like a huge thing in our society right now. You know, you gotta do it for the gram, do it for the vine. You know, you gotta do all this shit like to look like you popping. Because if you ain't popping, then you ain't shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't popping, then you ain't shit. And that's literally how it's been, like a concept that's just like become so much of a norm. It's a huge issue inside our culture, our society, everything, because it makes people dismayed from being themselves. And it's like, you really can't, the reality is, okay, that's what I said. The reality is that everything ain't popping. Everything is not looking beautiful and glamorous, you know? Life is not like that. But this whole flex culture makes you seem like, oh, it's like that. You know, for example, you know, all the freaking other rap stars and stuff like that, like, want to make sure everything looks all nice and flashy. Got the bottles popping, got the girls behind me all the time, you know, blah, blah, blah. Life is like a movie all the time, you know. You know, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, because then you got those guys that are doing that have money, but don't really have money. They have borrowed money. But anyway, you got those ones right there that do that. And then the guys that are smaller and stuff like that, they look at that and say, oh, I'm trying to be like that too. So then their Instagram has to look like this. They try to make it look like the celebrities who actually have that kind of money, you know, and they don't. So they'll pull out, you know, it's so fake. It's such a fake concept that's been created in our culture. Like, you've got pull out $10,000 in your cash out your bank account, but that's really all the money that you got. And you're just pulling out, flexing on Instagram and stuff for likes. You know, it's a bullshit concept. And it's like, it's not really you. It's like how you want to be viewed. but really, is that you? And, you know, I've never been the type of person to flaunt in that kind of sense. So I never do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person I'll wear like one gold chain, one gold watch, something like that, like, and I'll be chilling, you know, because I'm not the type of person that needs to be all flashy and faking all this stuff like that. You know, I came from the bottom, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, now I'm doing my own thing, you know, and I'm happy about it. And I push how grateful I am too, like every day. But, you know, I'm not sitting over here gonna pull out all the gold, just blinging all over top of me. Like, it's so superficial and everything. And the same thing with like women and like you know, Instagram models and everything. The Instagram models, like it's all viewed as like you have to post the most sexiest picture that you got, the sexiest picture. Like you have to have your ass out on like pictures. You gotta have like pictures at the beach. You have to be in a bikini. Like you have to be in this, and that's all bullshit. Like, and you have to have the best damn body and makeup on, like all this stuff, like looking like the celebrities. You gotta look like somebody off a movie. You gotta have your makeup did this, the top to there. You gotta have the fake titties, fake ass. You know, all that stuff is so fake, and it's like I've met so many women, and this is the crazy part. Met so many women that are just like afraid to even post a picture. Afraid to post a picture because they do not feel like it will get enough likes. And that is the most craziest thing that is like, it's so crazy to me. Like, I mean, I understand it because it's the flex culture in general, and it's really warped people's minds, and it's really bad in my opinion, because like, if you're wanting to use social media as a platform to just to show yourself, to show you in a sense, and you want people to admire you and what you're doing, you can't do that if you're not even being yourself to begin with. So that's where I really see the biggest issue inside of all of this, because if I'm a guy that literally, if you look at my Instagram, you see me popping balls with all the cash all up on me and everything like that, that's not me. That's how I want you all to perceive me. And that's the bullshit. And I'm not gonna like, and that's why people like fight for their own happiness. It's like you would rather fake being this rather than showing who you really are and being happy. And that's the biggest thing that I really want people to try to get away from, because you can't be yourself if you're trying to pretend to be something else. Like, it just doesn't mix. And that's when I realized, last year, earlier this year, something like that, I believe, earlier this year. And I was like, you know, I used to make a lot of funny videos and stuff like that. And then I stopped. And I was like, wait, why did I stop? Because I wanted to try to make myself look more popping, you know what I'm saying? I stopped doing these, stopped doing that. But then I realized that, you know, this is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just music. I wanted my page just to be about music, which is bullshit, because that's not just me. You know, I'm about everything that I do, which is either music, talking about topics, you know, making funny videos, you know, basketball. Like, it doesn't really matter, you know. It goes a whole 9 yards. Video games, I'm about to say, trying to get into streaming again too. I want to get into all these things, you know, because this is all things that embody me, real Trigger Heartz, you know, and that's me being me. And I just want other people to be able to do the same thing, you know, because it really makes you happy being able to not care whether a post gets a certain amount of likes or not. You know, when I first started out on my new account that I made on Instagram, I was nervous about, I wonder how many likes I'm going to get. But then I was like, wait, I created a new Instagram account for this exact same reason, to get away from that thought process. So I rebranded myself and did all the whole 9 yards to show that this is me being genuine. And I'm going to show you all basically the way to doing that, you know? So everybody that is on my stories and whatnot, or on my page, you know that I'm going to keep it honest with you. I'm on some stupid shit sometimes, on some funny shit. Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't care what other people think. You know, it is what it is. I'm not trying to look like I'm the most famous dude out here, because I'm not. Like half these other guys, you know, they'll fake how popping they are, fake their streams, fake this, fake that. You know, it's really no point to it, man. Like, because people at the end of the day, if I talk about who I am, if I talk about what I do, what I stand for, then people are gonna stand for it with me if it coincides with them. So that's why I've just taken to it like, yo, you with me? Great. You don't, you're not with what I'm doing? That's cool too. Either way, I don't give a fuck. And that's why I just want other people to be able to understand. So out of all of this, I really just want you to be able to take away, if nothing else, whenever you are about to post something or you're about to say something, make sure you ask yourself, are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for how you want people to see you? Because that's a huge thing to understand that most people don't want to wrap their minds around, is that, are you doing this for what makes you happy, or are you doing this for how other people view you to make you happy? You know, you can't be trying to pick between it, because if you try to do something for somebody else to make you happy, then you're never going to be happy with that, you know, because you're putting your happiness on other people. You're putting the potential of your happiness on other people instead of you just being happy with what you're doing. So either way, I hope you all did enjoy the video, and I have more coming as well too, more topics that I have in mind. But if you want to, please make sure to drop a comment and then below on a different topic that you might want me to talk about. And also, I do plan on getting more people on the show as well too, to try to talk about this and stuff like that, different topics. And I think it'll be like a really cool thing to set up as well too. So, especially with COVID and everything. So thank you all so much for watching. I definitely do appreciate it. And if you do have any more comments that you might want to put down about how you thought about the video, what was your topic that really stood out to you so much? Or also, what did you want the next video to be about? Just go ahead and drop that in the comments. Any things like that that really stuck with you, I definitely appreciate knowing. We can talk about it in the comments as well too. I definitely do appreciate you all. Make sure to share this video with anybody who may find it relatable. Thank you so much. Hearts worldwide. Till next time.
Just give me the time, just give me the place, just tell me the word, and I'm on my way. You can call, you can call, you can call. No, you can call, you can call, you can call. At any time or any place.